Hi, guys. Hey, what's up?
Well, Chuck, we're just getting set up for an Insight program.
Yeah, we're talking about the 95s. It doesn't look like there's much new this year.
Well, let me tell you, I've talked with the engineers and designers, and while there isn't a visually new Buick model being introduced this fall, I know what's new and improved for 95, and you're gonna love it.
Security, comfort, luxury, and Buick quality. The 1995 Park Avenue.
My Buick experience has been a fun experience for me. I would highly recommend it. It's going to be my car permanently now.
Okay, my appetite is whetted. What's new on my two favorites, the Park Avenue and LeSabre?
Well, there are some exterior changes on the Park Avenue, the biggest of which are in the front end. A new grille with vertical bars that are rounded at the top provide a fresh look. And take a look at the bumper. Notice anything different?
Yeah, it looks cleaner.
The front fascia has fewer parts and a better contour, which provides a better fascia fit. Underneath, the bumper assembly has been simplified with a rolled bumper bar. Kim, would you pop the hood, please?
Sure.
The elimination of multiple parts enhances the fit and finish, as well as simplifying the assembly.
Now, I know the Park Avenue gets the new Series 2 engine that was introduced in the Riviera a couple months ago.
That's right. The Series 2 engine is essentially new from the oil pan up. Actually, the rocker arm covers are the only carryovers from last year's engine. We discussed the features of the Series 2 engine in Know-How 172, 1995 Riviera service features. There is one thing about the Park Avenue with the Series 2 engine that you'll notice right away: a smoother feel at idle. This is due to the captured torque axis engine mounting system that is used only with this engine. You really interested in this stuff?
Yeah.
Great. Well, let me run out to my car for a second. I've got a milk crate with some of the new parts.
Okay. What do you got there, Chuck? A boat anchor?
Feels like it. Well, here we go. Park Avenue. The new mount has a sleeved center section which during assembly is cradled into a coat hook saddle. With this new system, the engine is loaded on its torque axis, allowing a more positive location for the complete powertrain. There are also other refinements on the Park Avenue. A power recliner function has been added to the memory seat and mirror controls. When the memory is set, the driver's seat position and the position of both outside mirrors is stored. Pressing the button simultaneously moves the driver's seat and mirror to the stored position, while the passenger's mirror is delayed until the driver's adjustment is complete. Also in the interior, a new heated passenger's seat complements the heated driver's seat. The seat is controlled by a 3-position switch. The settings are off, low, and high. On low, the seat heats to 98 degrees, and on high to 108 degrees. Rick, take that seat out and let me show you the occupant sensor. The bolts are already loose. On the passenger seat, the occupant sensor prevents the seat from heating if the seat isn't occupied. Under the seat, you'll find the Sensing and Diagnostic Module, or SDM, for the airbag system. While the Park Avenue and LeSabre also use a forward discriminating sensor, the SDM can set off the airbags by itself. So while servicing, please make sure that it's securely bolted down and don't strike it.
Yeah, we don't want to set off those airbags.
The SDM also maintains a 36-volt reserve energy supply, monitors vehicle velocity changes, directs current flow to the inflator module, records information regarding system states during a frontal crash, performs system diagnostics, displays trouble codes, operates the airbag warning lamp, and monitors seatbelt usage. Kim, here's another feature you need to be aware of. A digital compass has been integrated into the optional automatic dimming rearview mirror. A 3-position switch allows the driver to select off, M, which turns on the electrochromic mirror, and CM, which turns on both the electrochromic mirror and compass display. I remember Ken Sherwood telling us about these mirrors up in Flint. Now, Ken said something to the effect that...
Speaking of distortion, most mirrors are 3-layered glass, as you recall, and that's for impact properties in case of collision and safety, and so you don't have the glass scatter. They're able to, and having a 3-layered glass mirror has a tendency to distort your images. And the Gentex mirror here is a 2-layered glass mirror, which gives you a clear, crisper image. So that's another advantage to this mirror.
Because of its design, the electrochromic mirror provides the same shadow resistance with only 2 layers of glass, while providing a sharper image. Electrochromic glass is able to filter out 95% of night glare, so the engineers were able to increase the mirror's reflectivity by 50%, which makes for a crisper image at all times. When vehicles are delivered to the dealership, the letter C may appear on the digital display instead of a compass heading. This means the mirror isn't calibrated. Now, the mirror will automatically calibrate itself as the car is driven, but this takes some time. When I was with the service development managers, they showed me how to quickly calibrate the mirror. Drive the vehicle in a circle at less than 5 miles per hour until the display shows a compass direction. Pretty simple, huh? However, depending on your location in North America, the difference between magnetic north and geographic north may be great enough to cause false compass readings. The mirror can be adjusted to accommodate these differences using a map in the owner's manual.
Hey, Chuck, it looks like we've got new HVAC controls.
Good eyes, Kim. Both the manual C67 system and the automatic CJ2 system have been refined for 95. In both systems, a recirculation feature has been added. Let's look at the CJ2. When Auto is selected on the CJ2 system, the system automatically controls temperature, mode, and fan speed. The control head displays the set temperature and the air distribution arrows for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, the external temperature will be displayed. If the external air temperature sensor is faulty, the display won't show the outside temperature after the 10-second timeout. Now, vent or recirculation can be selected while in the auto mode. Recirculation allows occupants to block out smells by limiting the amount of outside air that is brought into the vehicle. Recirculation can be selected in any mode except for vent or defrost. Now, be careful about this point. If the system selects blend while in automatic mode and the recirculation button is pressed, the system goes to recirculation, although the recirculation LED doesn't light. When the system is in recirculation, changing air distribution cancels recirculation. Also, there is a 10-minute timer on the recirculation function. After 10 minutes, the recirculation mode is canceled to eliminate windshield fogging. The airflow button is also new. It's used to change airflow direction. Air can be sent to the floor and middle vents, also known as bi-level, the middle vents alone, and the windshield and floor vents, which is mostly the windshield with a little air bled off to the floor vents. When the system is in automatic mode and an airflow selection is made, the auto LED turns off, but the system remains in automatic mode. And you may notice that there isn't a dual zone button. When the main control head is turned on, the passenger head remains off until the passenger climate control button is pressed. When the passenger makes a selection, it remains, even after the engine has been turned off. To turn off the passenger side climate control, press the off button once, and to turn off the HVAC, press the off button a second time. While the CJ2 system has been changed substantially, other Buicks get new AC and radio controls as well. There's a new family of uniquely styled radios that will enhance the brand character of Buick across all car lines. Look for an upcoming know-how on the operation and diagnosis of these new radios.
I've owned Buick since 1954.
We had an Electra 225, we had a Park Avenue, now we have a Roadmaster.
I've never had any problems with Buick. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm sticking to Buick. No question about it.
So, Chuck, what's new on the Roadmaster?
We'll take a look at the anti-lock brake controller. That's the new Bosch 5 ABS system. I love talking about this stuff. Let me go get my Roadmaster parts. I left them in the trunk. I got the parts. While overall operation is the same, the electronic brake control module, or EBCM, is now integrated with the pressure modulator valve, or PMV. The EBCM and PMV are connected by 4 corner bolts and a larger 5th bolt. The PMV now uses 6 solenoids to control brake lockup. Now let me remember, operation is similar to the Tevis 4 system, with an inlet and outlet solenoid for each front wheel and a single pair of solenoids for the rear wheels. These changes allow the system to react faster to slippery road surface conditions. As a result, diagnostics have changed. There are 16 trouble codes, including 4 new codes. To diagnose ABS problems, you'll need to install an adapter on the EBCM. Then use the breakout box designed for the Bosch 4 system. If testing shows that the problem is with the PMV, a new pinout box has been designed to check resistance directly at the PMV assembly. These diagnostic tools won't be available until the first of the year. Until then, there's a tool loaner program in effect. For the latest tool information and to get loaner tools, call 1-800-GM-TOOLS. Oh, and let me show you this. There's a shorting bar on the EBCM connector where it attaches to the pinout box.
Kim to service, please. Kim
Oh,
to service.
there's my page. I'll be right back.
Okay. This shorting bar connects the ABS warning light to ground. So, when this connector is disconnected, the warning light turns on. One note though, if the EBCM connector separated a number of times, the shorting bar may wear, causing the warning light to stay on. Since there won't be any codes set or blown fuses, this condition could be hard to diagnose. Corrosion is the biggest enemy of electronic components. To protect the contacts from corrosion, the terminals of the EBCM and PMV are gold-plated. Also, make sure the red seal between the 2 components is not damaged. And be sure to follow the torque specifications when putting the EBCM and PMV together. The location of the wheel speed sensors didn't change. However, the rear wheel speed sensor has been redesigned. The new sensor has a plastic housing so that it won't corrode in the rear carrier. Also, there's now a flush top at the end of the magnet. Aside from the ABS system, the Roadmaster has new rear-view mirrors that are larger and of a fold-away design. The mirrors are mounted on the mirror patch area rather than on the door skin as they were in the past. Notice that the mirrors fold away toward the rear of the car. The interior of the mirror is packed with a high-density foam. When the mirrors are folded back, the foam may pop out. If that happens, it must be pushed back into place before the mirrors are snapped back.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Kim. Before we go inside, listen to this. Hear that?
It's quieter, and there's no clunk sound.
Okay, what did they do?
Let's go inside. The door latches have a Teflon-coated fork bowl and new rubber pads. The Teflon pieces are a darker color, and they'll also fit older Roadmasters. Now, let's take a look at some of the interior features up front. Inside, All Roadmaster Limited models benefit from new front seats that are equipped with power electromechanical lumbar controls. The Limited is also available with an option that includes driver and passenger heated seats and a driver's memory seat. Here's another important change on the Roadmaster. The Oil Life Monitor reset button has been eliminated. To reset the system, turn the ignition switch on, but don't start the engine. Fully depress and release the accelerator pedal 3 times within 5 seconds. The PCM acknowledges that the monitor has been reset by flashing the change oil light twice. You can check for this with a Tech 1. If the light doesn't flash twice, the throttle cable may be misadjusted. Before resetting the monitor, the PCM looks for a TPS signal above 96%. If the Tech 1 doesn't indicate a TPS of 96% when the throttle is pressed to the floor, you may actually have to cycle the TPS itself to reset the Oil Life Monitor. Rick, there's one other little note that I'd like to caution you about. The tag on the backside of the passenger sun visor is the same one that was there in '94. However, there is a new tag that says Passenger Side Airbag, See Other Side, that is visible when the visor is in the stowed position. This little white tag is mandated by the government. It's glued to the visor fabric, and any attempt to remove it will likely damage the fabric.
Presenting the all-new 1995 Buick Regal. With Buick quality, an all-new interior, anti-lock brakes, and dual airbags.
My dealership is just really fantastic, and I always think it's Regal is my car, so people know about me as a Buick woman.
You know, Chuck, the Regal's always been a popular car in our area. Oh, look, we've got a new grill.
So what's new under the skin?
Well, for increased road feel at high speeds and easier low-speed maneuvering, the Regal gets an electronic variable orifice, or EVO, steering system.
Now, is this EVO a new system, or is it something like we've already got?
Well, Wayne Ziegler researched the EVO, and I remember he said something about...
Everything is exactly the same as Roadmaster, with the exception of a wire and the BCM being the controller.
Still the rotation sensor?
Still got the rotation sensor.
I guess I'm asking maybe...
I like what they've done to the dash.
And inside, the instrument panel has been redesigned, in part to accommodate a new airbag system. And let me tell you, this airbag system is state-of-the-art. Like the Park Avenue and LeSabre, the Regal uses a sensing and diagnostic module. And it's also mounted on the floor under the passenger seat. But on Regal, the SDM is the lone discriminating sensor.
Along with the new instrument panel, it looks like we've got new air conditioning and radio controls.
You're right. The CJ3 dual-zone air conditioning system is now standard.
Introducing Buick quality and reliability in the smaller package. 1995 Buick Skylark with anti-lock brakes, driver airbag, and more passing power than any car in its class. Enjoy the distinctive styling and increased horsepower of this 1995 Skylark.
Hey, it looks like they added another camshaft to the 2.3 L4 engine.
Oh, they've done more than that. The double overhead camshafts and 16-valve cylinder head provide improved engine breathing and a substantial boost in power. There's more, too. I remember at the SDM meeting, Barry Sigmund showed us...
Basically, if you look at the engine upside down, it's chain driven. If you look at this unit here, if you look at the right-hand side over there, there's your oil pump. You can see it real good there. This is your pickup screen here. Of course, that'll snap out for cleaning. 5 bolts holds it on. The 2 counterbalance shafts, of course, are inside of it.
Now, I got to tell you, when I first heard about this engine, the advanced information packet said the balance shafts sat in the oil pan. I said, yeah, sure. This was written by somebody that doesn't know where the oil pan is in an engine.
Oh, for sure.
But Barry let me take a look at this engine. And they do sit in the oil pan.
What?
The balance shaft unit is bolted to the bottom of the engine with 5 bolts. A chain from the crankshaft turns one shaft, which runs the other shaft through gears. If this unit is replaced, it has to be timed using the procedure in the service manual. The balance shaft assembly also houses a new G-rotor oil pump. The balance shaft improves idle qualities, especially when the engine is under load. Idle speed can be maintained at a constant 600 RPM, even when the air conditioning compressor is on.
The power steering pump looks like it's directly connected to one of the camshafts.
It is, and that reduces weight and eliminates an engine bracket.
Very nice. Is there anything else new on the Skylark?
Well, there is a new tubular rear axle. The springs have been moved out so that they are centered with the rear hubs, changing the rear suspension geometry and allowing the use of softer springs for better ride and handling characteristics. Bill Fisher talked about the advantages of the on-center spring design.
And what we've done here is that we've actually changed the location of the spring itself, and we've moved it primarily in the center of the wheel hub itself. We get increased rear suspension travel as a result of that. The other thing that it does is that it minimizes the harshness when driving over bumps, as far as what is felt by the occupant, and primarily the person that's riding in the back seat is the one that's really benefited as a result of that.
There's also an optional window grid antenna which replaces the power mast antenna. 2 vertical antenna lines are placed in the glass, and they provide better reception than a power antenna.
The 1995 Buick Century. As always, Century delivers dependable, reliable American tradition built on Buick quality.
It was my car.
Now keep in mind, every time we get a Buick car, it's her car. Buick Century. It was a real nice car. What I love about the car most is the ride.
All right, Chuck, what's new with the Century?
Well, Kim, Centuries with the base 2200 engine and 3T40 transaxle come equipped with a reverse torque clutch in the TCC.
Well, what's that? Some new TCC calibration?
Well, that's what I thought at first, but it's not. Let me explain. Remember now, under normal operation, the torque converter clutch locks at around 38 miles per hour and remains locked as long as the throttle is maintained in a cruising position. In past years, the ECM released the torque converter clutch immediately when you lifted your foot from the accelerator. It did this to prevent driveline jerking or clunking due to the sudden change in applied torque. However, this caused an undesirable side effect. When driving in heavy traffic, you normally let off the throttle or come close to letting off the throttle to respond to traffic speed. This pedal variation isn't usually severe enough to cause driveline clunk, but the ECM wasn't able to differentiate between this heavy traffic condition and a stop, so it released the TCC. When the TCC is locked and unlocked, engine load changes substantially. The resulting change in engine speed causes a change in the engine sound that is transmitted into the exhaust system and engine compartment. The sound change can be annoying. With reverse torque clutch, the ECM keeps the torque converter clutch locked when the throttle is released with the car at cruising speeds. However, to prevent engine flare-up during closed throttle stops, a reverse torque clutch control valve has been added to the torque converter clutch pressure plate and dampening assembly. The reverse torque clutch is set up to rotate with the damper. Normally, the valve is closed, but under a stopping situation, the reverse torque overcomes the tension in the damper, opening the reverse torque clutch valve. When opened, it vents some of the torque converter clutch apply pressure. This momentarily releases the torque converter clutch, preventing engine flare-up.
It looks like they continued with the new instrument cluster that was introduced in late '94.
You're right. The new cluster incorporates a full arc speedometer with larger and easier to read graphics. The Century also gets a new model brake transmission shift interlock, or BITSI. Ah, here it is. This BITSI has fewer moving parts than on the models used in previous years, but you've got to adjust it before putting it on the steering column. It's easy to adjust though. Take off the retaining clip, then press on the side of the adjuster block to disengage the adjuster teeth. It's a pretty heavy spring. While squeezing the adjuster block, slide it as far away from the solenoid as possible. The rest of the procedure is on the car. Let me see if I can remember now. With the gear shift in neutral, install the BITSI on the lower support bracket and move the gear shift lever to park. Install the retaining clip and you're done. But did you notice anything else about the interior?
Well, the seat controls are the same, but the seats feel more comfortable.
The seat cushions and backrests have been redesigned using Buick's new seat comfort criteria, the same criteria that was used to design the seats on the Riviera. Well, that's about all I can remember. But look for your service development managers. They'll be coming around to see you with more information and hands-on training on the 1995 Buick product improvements. I didn't mean to steal the show. I always get carried away talking about the new models. You are going to love the 1995 Buicks. We want to thank everyone at Glen Bugey Buick for allowing us to do this program in their dealership. Next week, we're going to be back here in our studio to introduce the new Buick family of radios. But before then, I have some late-breaking information that I want to share with you. The 1995 Park Avenue is available with a remote keyless entry personalization feature. With this feature, the driver's memory seat and mirrors can be activated by the remote keyless entry transmitter. Each transmitter operates at a different frequency, and each frequency can be set to activate one of the memory functions. To program the system, adjust the driver's seat, including the recliner, to a comfortable position. Also, adjust both outside mirrors. Then, press the set button on the armrest. The system will beep once. Press one of the two memory buttons within 5 seconds. The system will beep twice to confirm that the mirror and seat positions are entered in memory. Now, press the unlock button on the transmitter within 5 seconds. The system will beep twice again, indicating that the transmitter is programmed to activate the memory system. The transmitter can also be set to activate the exit seat position. Just press the set button and listen for the one beep. Then press the exit button on the armrest. The exit position is programmed into the memory to go to the completely down and back position. You'll hear one beep, but the seat will not move at this time. Press the unlock button on the transmitter within 5 seconds. There will be 2 beeps. Remember, this personalization feature works only when the car is in park. It's a new feature, a convenient feature that few people seem to know about. And remember, join us next time for Buick's new family of radios.